Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chioma, and today I want to talk about financial security, financial freedom when you're trying to become a spiritual or sovereign or just an elevated woman, right? Because for whatever reason, there is this thing in the spiritual economy, in the spiritual landscape where it's like, oh, abandon all material possessions, abandon all money, and could just come here and kumbaya and blah, blah, blah. That's for men. As a woman, you can't really do that. Well, I mean, you could, but the consequences are more dire for you. And so that's what I want to talk about today. Why do you, as a woman, need money, even with pursuing your spiritual elevation? Or just if you're wanting to elevate more as a woman to become a sovereign woman, whatever you want to call it, why do you need money? Like, why can't you just abandon all spiritual possession? Now, mind you, I don't believe that you should be materialistic. If anything, I feel like being materialistic will degrade your level up. But I do think you should have money and you should care to have money. And I will explain why. Number one reason is to give yourself more options. As a woman, you always need more options, never less. You always, 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 always need more options, right? Because being a woman in today's society is such that you, everything that is done for two women is done to reduce our options, right? Like everything that is done to degrade your options, to make you have less options, which is why they will take certain rights away. They'll do certain things to give you less options. So it is your job personally to give yourself as many options as you can manage to give yourself, because you need it, right? So it is your job to give yourself as many options as possible. That's reason number one. An example that I would give you is, say you travel, right? You get to the hotel. The hotel is not to your standards for safety, for cleanliness, whatever, right? Like, let's say they have all types of roaches, but all the reviews were good. It would be amazing, and it would behoove you to be able to have the money to be like, nope, insist on them giving you a different room, or to be able to pack up your things and go to a different hotel, right? Even though that's an annoying situation, to be able to do that in the meantime for your safety, right? Because, or maybe some men were like stalking you, so you get to the hotel now and you're like, yeah, okay, I need a different room, whatever the situation is. You as a woman, you always have to have money so that you can give yourself more options, and you can, and of course having that money will give you the confidence to even think that way, because you know you have it, so it's no issue. It's no issue, right? Like, if you didn't have it, it would be like, oh, you might not even want to ask, because you're like, oh, I don't even know if they would do it. You're like a little shy. You're like, oh my God, I don't know, can I even ask them, but then if you have money, you have no problem, because you know if there's any problems and that you need to pay extra, you need to do anything, you know you can resolve that. You need that peace of mind as a woman, right? To give yourself more options in this life. And say you have a little bit of money, but you want to work this job. You go to the job, you see that they're draining you all types of way. This boss hates you. That coworker is jealous. This person is doing this. That person is doing that. To have the option, the ability to be like, hey, let me back up. Hey, it's not that serious for me. Hey, I'm gonna go somewhere else. That is going to help your spiritual journey more than uh, you giving up money because a lot of women do not rely on material possessions and base their life on that, right? Like, that's not the core of your being. For most women, it's more so beauty, but not like money and cars and things, so it us avoiding all material possession. That doesn't do the same for us like it would for a man, because a lot of men, the basis of their self, their identity is their their material possession. Sorry. So of course, when they are able to detach from that, it gives them a lot of benefits. For us, it would not be that. It would just put you in harm's way, because now you won't be able to protect yourself. You won't be able to take care of yourself in the way that you need. So that's number one reason. So number two is what I already started talking about. That's free mind. It gives you a free mind. You're able to dream. You're able to chase the dreams that you do dream. You're able to make decisions that you probably would not be able to make otherwise, right? Like I was saying about the job. Let's say you're working the job and it's okay, but it's not fulfilling, and then you come into a bit of money. You can be like, okay, this will sustain me for 6 months. In the meantime, let me finally devote myself to this arts, right, that I've been wanting to do. Let me finally devote myself to finding this dream job that I want to achieve, right? Like, and these things, because women are such emotional beings, like everything you're going through on a day to day, it's oh, that's not even what I didn't mean to say emotional being, but like intuitive, right? Like we have a lot of emotions. There's a lot going on. We are affected by the things going on around us all the time. But whenever whenever you're able to be like, hey, you know what, this is not for me, I'm gonna go find something else that's more aligned. That's power. That's power that you have. So you, and a lot of times why people don't do that is because they don't have the money to do that, right? Like they don't have the money to pay their rent if they're not working. They don't have the money to go to just quit this job and find a new job. Like maybe it's so many people relying on them. So for you, abandoning all material possessions, that doesn't make sense, right? Like if anything, you need to find a way to reserve your money and to start saving and to start putting things aside. You need to like create boundaries around your finances, right? Like, so for you, the solution would not be to not make any money. The solution would be to use your money wisely, to set up some boundaries. Okay, I'm not going to buy you this anymore. I'm not going to be paying this for that person anymore. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I'm not going to be buying coffee every day anymore. I need to save what little amount I can save so that I can actually set myself up better in the future. That's you probably just need more discipline and structure around the way you gather and spend money, but not to completely abandon any type of money making, right? Number three, it gives you the ability for security and stability, right? This is also what we're talking about. Okay, say this wizard lists something. Imagine if she didn't have any money, it would be so much worse because she would then be unstable. If she was relying on this man financially, that means she was unstable. She probably has to live with him in the same house, even though she didn't want to. And he's doing all this to her. He would just be tugging her left and right. Or maybe she couldn't afford to then do all this back and forth flying. She couldn't afford the lawyer. She can't afford this. She can't afford that. That would be so exhausting and just mentally draining on her. So it would be so much worse if she didn't have money, if she didn't have the finances to back up herself, right? Like it gives you stability. Even when everything is going on around you, you can still stand firm and still like maneuver situations better than if you didn't have it, right? And also it offers that layer of security, right? Like I was saying earlier, if anything is happening, you know you can always like pull in. Of course, money does not solve all the problems in the world. It doesn't even solve most of them, but it solves like our day-to-day physical problem. It can solve a lot of those. It can solve a lot of our physical day-to-day problems. So if you have enough, nobody's saying you have to be like rich or nothing. Just be able to manage yourself and keep yourself up, you know? This is number four. Okay, the fourth thing it gives you is independence. To be able to make the decisions you need to make for yourself that will put you on a higher plane, a higher level, to like elevate, to go to the next level of life, whatever. You absolutely need independence because people do not necessarily want you to leave them either. Like they don't want you to leave them behind, and People do not want you to come onto their level. So sometimes people will try to put you down, or they will try to force you in a situation where you have to stay below them, right? Think about a boss finding out that you have a child, and then they're very happy because they know they can do whatever they want to you, and you're not going to leave the job because you need the money to take care of your child. You know what I'm saying? If you had money, they wouldn't be doing that because they know that you can leave at any time. So they will have to mind the way they're acting. Or also think of like, just whenever people feel like you're in a financially dire situation, they know they can play with you anyhow. But if they know that you have the money, they move differently because they know that you don't have to be there, right? Like, and if anything happens, you can always just leave. So they move very differently, okay? And this is the final reason, in my opinion, why, as a woman, it just doesn't make sense for you to completely abandon any type of material possession. And it buys you time. It buys you time to make good decisions. Just the same way it gives you the options, it gives you more options when it comes to making your decisions. It also buys you time, and it allows a bit of forgiveness. It allows a bit of window. It gives you some wiggle room if you make a mistake, right? Like if you make a mistake, let's say you spent your money here, you impulse bought something, now you can't return it. If that was all your money, you would be a lot more distraught than if you can just be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, I'm just not gonna do it again. I'm not gonna fall into the sunk cost fallacy. I'm just gonna let that go, right? If you can afford to just write off your mistakes, like, all right, I spent all that money, I didn't really need to, I'm not gonna do that next time, and then just move on with your life. That's a lot different of a mindset from if you spend the money and you know you shouldn't have. So now for the next like month, you're just like, oh my God, I spent all my money. And then like you're literally, it depresses you. You can't live your life. You can't enjoy your life. You're stressed mentally. So you can't even make plans for the future. You can't determine what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. Please, right? And nobody is saying you have to be rich and be spending all this money. So it's not really about spending. It's about having yourself in a situation where you're able to get all these benefits, right? You're able to get the independence. You can move out. You can afford your rents. You can afford all your things. You can afford to live on your own if you need to. You can afford to buy your own car if you need to, right? Like you don't have to rely on people. It also gives you that ability to have more options, right? Like you can choose this or that, and you can afford either one that you want, and you don't have to settle, right? Like you don't have to be put in a position where you don't like the position you're in, but you're staying there because you have no choice, right? Like think of the ladies that want to break up with their boyfriend, but then they can't break up because they can't afford to move out. That's not a good position you want to be, because sometimes you could be in an abusive situation and you can't leave because you don't have the money. So it gives you more options. Number three, it gives you time to make different decisions, to make better decisions, to see what else is out there. You can buy yourself time. Say you get fired from one job, but you're trying to get a better job, right? Like you don't want a job on the same level, you want something better. If you don't have money, you're more likely to be tempted to just take any job that's available. Just be like, hey, I need to pay my rent, I'm just gonna take that. Versus if you do have like a bit of savings, just a bit of wiggle room, you can be like, you know what, I can afford to wait for 2 more months and really put in the work to find what I'm looking for. It just gives you more options, and it gives you time to make your decision, so you don't have to be in a rush when you're making your decision. Oh, I forgot the other ones. Also, the independence, right? Like the independence, the fact that you could do what you want, you could do what's best for you. Because a lot of times when you're trying to level up as a woman, the things that you want and that you need to do are in contradiction with what everybody else wants and what everybody else wants to do. The people around you, I mean. Like, not the people that you're aligned with, no. I'm talking about just generally the people around you, right? Like the people that are used to your old self, they don't want the new things you're coming with. They don't want to be part of the new life. Like they're not interested in none of that. And finally, it gives you freedom in your mind, to speak up for yourself, to make different decisions, to go about your life a different way. It gives you freedom to dream, to chase your dreams. It allows you to be open-minded towards life, right? Like you're able to think differently, to do differently, because you have some money, some layer of security, some finances. And also, I forgot to mention this, but then people wouldn't be able to like, you know, have it over your head, right? Like a lot of times money is used over women's head. Or if you act like this, if you do like this, if you do like that, then I'll give you this money, I'll give you this opportunity. But when you don't need that, you can act in a way that suits you. You don't have to act like what people want you to act like. You don't have to devote yourself to what other people want. You can do you for truly, truly, truly. And that is I believe that is like the number one thing to be able to do you. That's the number one thing that's going to allow you to quickly progress, quickly elevate, quickly level up. And the reason is because as soon as you find out, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I'm meant to do, you can just immediately do it, versus having to get permission from people, make sure it's okay with people, and then if it's not okay, you're waiting for years, you're waiting for a while. No, trust me. Trust me, being able to make these moves by yourself as quickly as possible, yes, yes. As a woman, you absolutely need that, because nobody is going to be looking out for you like you will. Trust. Nobody is out here caring about a woman more than she could possibly care for herself, which is why you have to care for yourself. But that's a whole other topic. Yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. If you want to see my next topic, I'm still thinking about what that's gonna be, but that's all I have for this video. Like, yes, nobody's saying you have to be rich, become Jeff Bezos, sell your soul for money. Nobody's saying that, but I am saying get your finances in order, get a little, at least a little emergency savings, put something aside. You're gonna need that, and it just gives you more options to be able to live life. Like, you just, if you get fired, you can even then afford to take that opportunity to take a vacation, right? Instead of worrying about next job. It's like, damn, I've been working hard, let's take a break. This is something you can't really do if you don't have a bit of finances, a bit of money to the side. What is it Cash said? Money to the side, don't let no leave you dry. Don't let no man leave you dry, because people are gonna leave you high and dry. Don't let that happen. Put a little money to the side for sure. Anyways, that's all I have to say for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.